There was once a blacksmith in a small mountain village. Every morning, before the sun rose, he would light his forge and heat the metal until it glowed red. He worked for hours in silence, no rush, no chatter. Villagers said they could tell which sword was his, not by how it looked, but by how it sounded. When the metal sang, it meant perfection. One day, a traveler stopped by and said, "You could make twice as many swords if you worked faster." The blacksmith smiled, struck the metal once more, and said, "A rushed blade breaks in battle, a slow one becomes a legend." We have forgotten that truth. We live in a world that rewards the traveler, not the craftsman. We scroll faster, work longer, multitask harder, and yet our mind feels duller than ever. The average human attention span in the year 2000 was about 12 seconds. Today, according to studies by Microsoft and the University of California, it is closer to 8 seconds, shorter than a goldfish. We are surrounded by devices built to fracture concentration. A 2023 Harvard Business Review study found the typical knowledge worker switches tasks over 1200 times a day, often spending less than 47 seconds on one window before moving to another. The result? Our brains are constantly rewiring for speed, not depth. We have become tourists in our own thoughts, never staying long enough to understand them. But the deepest work, the kind that builds art, invention, or understanding, requires stillness. It requires discomfort. It requires being so absorbed that time dissolves and only the work remains. True focus is not about effort, it's about presence. It's the state where you and the task become indistinguishable, where the craftsman disappears and only creation remains. Philosophers called it flow, monks called it meditation, artists call it the zone. It's the same silence behind every great piece of music, code, or poetry. But the modern world has made that silence rare, and anything rare becomes valuable. In the economy of distraction, focus is currency. Those who can master it, it will create things others can't even imagine. Those who can't will drown in noise that feels like motion but leads nowhere. Walk into any office or open your own laptop. You will see people frantically typing, replying, reacting. But business isn't productivity, it's performance. It gives the appearance of importance while eroding clarity. Shallow work, the constant checking, responding, reacting, consumes hours but leaves nothing but endures. Meanwhile, deep work, the art of sustained creation, leaves behind something that wasn't there before, a design, a solution, a piece of truth. The tragedy is that we have begun to fear stillness. We fill every empty space with stimulation, music while walking, podcast while eating, scrolling before sleep, as if silence itself were dangerous. But silence is the forge where meaning is made. Focus is not a gift, it's a discipline. The mind must be trained like a muscle. If you can't sit for 10 minutes without distraction, how can you expect to create something that lasts for decades? A University of Chicago study found that people who checked email constantly took 23 minutes to regain full focus after each interruption. Multiply that by a day and you realize we lose hours not to work but to recovering from distraction. Depth requires ritual, setting boundaries around your time, saying no to noise that pretends to be opportunity, building small islands of solitude where the world cannot reach you. The craftsman had his forge, the writer has his desk, the modern creator must build their own invisible monastery, not of stone, but of attention. The reason deep work feels sacred is because it dissolves the self. When you are fully immersed, there is no you left, only the work unfolding. That moment of merging between mind and matter, thought and creation is what gives life significance. Every masterpiece, every innovation, every work of art is a trace left by someone who was once completely present. And that's why depth isn't just a productivity method, it's a moral choice, a rebellion against shallowness. To do something deeply is to resist the world's demand for distraction. The blacksmith never spoke of focus, he never read about flow, but he understood something we have forgotten. The soul doesn't thrive on speed, it thrives on stillness. When he struck the metal, he wasn't just shaping the sword was shaping him. Each blow burned away distraction, ego, impatience, until only attention remained. His work was slow, but his mind was sharp. His hands moved like meditation. He was free in the way only the deeply focused can be. We live in an age where everyone is connected, yet few are truly present. Our minds are traded commodities, bought in clicks and notifications. But the rarest luxury today is attention. To read without checking your phone, to think without an audience, to create without applause. The world doesn't need more noise, it needs more silence that speaks. Somewhere in a quiet room, the blacksmith's forge still glows, the metal waits. The question is, will you step into the fire long enough to hear it sing?